Aloha! This is your bratty Squirrel, here with a quick disclaimer. The Squirrel Tangent podcast contains explicit content and parental discretion is advised. So no bitching if you get fucking offended by anything. Thank you. Thank you very much.
We're back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Squirrel Tangent. We've been gone for a month and a half now.
Not.
Yeah, since the beginning of last month. And it's the 20th. Yeah.
Well,
There was a couple of good reasons.
yeah. Well, first, it was for my mental health. Because our fur baby's passing anniversary was coming up and I was not dealing with it very well.
You actually did deal with it pretty well in the end.
When it came to the day, yeah, but the weeks coming up, I wasn't.
The anxiety of coming up to it was a little rough for you.
Yeah, but the actual day was not so bad. And then the reason why I sound like I belong on 1-900 oof squirrel is because Mr. Man over here brought it home and it finally got us.
We finally got
COVID. And his was not so bad, but because I'm immunocompromised, I'm still recovering.
Yeah, and
it's been
so glad I'm
been what,
2.5 weeks, 3 weeks?
No,
yeah.
3 weeks now.
3 weeks.
As of today, it makes 3 weeks.
Yeah, and I am so glad that we got vaccinated because I can only imagine what worse would have been.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
I think
for me,
just by this and how my body is still hanging on to it for so much longer than you. If we weren't vaccinated, I'd probably be dead.
Yeah, I don't want to imagine it, and that means that we're going to soon. In fact, you can get another booster.
Yeah, I can. So can you because you work.
Possibly, they didn't put a stipulation in there that I know of for high risk jobs, but they did for 50 and over. So.
And this is the first day where I'm not completely winded. So I'm at the tail end. It's just the exhaustion and the heaviness in my chest. And
it fucked up everything sweet for her.
Yeah, it messed up my taste. I didn't lose it completely, but it made it weird. Like, I love my sweets and everything tasted wrong. Like I ate a Rice Krispie treat and I was making this face at him. And he's all, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "It tastes salty."
Oh no, the worst one is when you had the fig Newton. Like,
I love fig Newtons. Okay, yes, I get it. It's the old people cookie. But it tasted. I was like, "It tastes salty," and I was so mad.
So when her taste buds are finally coming back to normal, I come home and it's like, "I had a fig Newton and it was glorious."
It was glorious. In fact, that's what prompted him to get the COVID test for me. Is when I looked at him, because it started. I tested positive on July 4th, the 4th of July. And it started the days like about 4 days the Wednesday before. Hold on. Excuse me. And what prompted him to get the test was I looked at him and I was drinking my protein shake in the morning, and I looked at him, I said, I can barely taste this.
Yeah.
Like, barely taste this. And he just gave me this look like, because that was the clue we were looking for. Because, in all honesty, it just felt like, like a summer head cold. It started with my ears and then the pressure in my sinuses. And it didn't move down to my chest until...
like the last week.
Like, a week after.
Yeah.
And...
it just felt like a really bad cold. Like it
feels
knocked
like
me out for like 2 days.
It felt like a really bad bout of the flu, but I've had respiratory infections before, and that's what makes me immunocompromised as well, is that I'm very prone to respiratory infections.
Right.
And when I get excuse me, and when I get them, they last for a long time. Like I'll hold on to it for like a month.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to turn hers up so she can talk even softer.
Yeah, that's why I'm starting to cough.
Yeah. Well, that's why you have your water there.
And a cough drop. And I just took more medicine. Because, it's a little bit too loud. I got feedback. Basically, there's no real medicine you can take besides what you take when you get sick.
Yeah.
So I've been taking Dayquil and NyQuil. And then with the nighttime one, I take a Benadryl with it so that I can sleep. Because
you've been sleeping great this past couple weeks.
Yeah, I know. That's why I told him, my insomnia has been, but it's because I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
And then we realized that, the pharmacy screwed up one of my medications. And so I didn't have it for like a month.
Mm-hmm.
And we realized I have been going in withdrawal from one of my medications because last night I had a panic attack for absolutely no reason. We were having dinner and watching... oh God.
Moon Knight.
We're watching it to get through it because it's part of the multi-universe. But Moon Knight, I don't know if whoever's watched it and you like it. I gave up after the first 2 freaking episodes, and it's been about 2 months since we went back to it. We went back to it because the first 2 episodes were so like chaotic and
all over the place.
I couldn't get into it like at all. I was like, I cannot watch this. How are we gonna get through this? And we have to watch this to get this multi-universe shit.
And then Doctor Strange was all dragged out. I mean, it was a good movie.
Yeah, but Doctor Strange, that movie could have been 45 minutes less than it was.
Yeah, but the Spider-Man one, that one was good.
That one was good. That one was funny.
Yeah, but it's one of those ones where you're going through withdrawals, COVID, and the anxiety and depression from the anniversary of the passing of our little boy.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, let's just say fuck this month.
Yeah. June to July. Well, July. No, hello. I'm like so June. Disoriented. It disorients the shit out of you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was early June when we...
No, early July.
Well, no.
Well, you got sick in the end of June.
I got sick around Broker's...
You got sick at the end of June.
Yeah.
The end of June.
Yeah.
And then...
the next week you got it.
Yeah. So, no, you had it... you started on Monday. By Wednesday, I started getting the itch in my throat.
Jesus.
And then I was like, nah, we can't. Nah.
Right.
It just feels like a regular cold. But when I said that I couldn't taste, and he brought home the test, and now mind you, I take the test, and you see everybody else's one where the line is faint or whatever.
Oh no,
Mine's it showed up before the timer was up.
This was like,
and
nah,
this
bitch,
sucker
you
was
got fucking COVID.
Bright black. It was like, bitch, you got COVID. Not just, hey, you got COVID. It was COVID. But yeah, that was. It has not been a great month and a half.
No,
not
it hasn't
at all.
But we are back, and in a couple of weeks we'll bring out another episode.
And I won't sound like phone sex.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Oh Lord,
and I'll have.
won't you buy me? You can do that one really well.
What?
Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? Her.
Who the fuck is that?
You don't know that one?
I know the song, but I don't know who the hell that is.
I can't remember who that is either right now. That's going to bug me now, so I'm going to have to look it up.
Oh, crap.
And my phone's all the way over there, so now I can't even look it up.
And then everything else that's been going on in the world, and everybody's turning crispy.
Oh, God, yeah. Freaking England get 100 degrees for the first time ever. Like, literally ever. In recorded history, they've never had 100 degrees.
And then we had the turnover of Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, this has been a hell of a month. Like,
yeah,
a lot.
And then
of
now
crap
they got
on.
the insurrection.
The trial going on for that one that started this month. It's like we took a break, and the whole world said, "Nah, no breaks for you." Yeah.
It's like, we have so much material for you. Don't go away.
And then, of course, me now. Right after my birthday, I started. Somebody thought it was a wise idea to trust me to train people on driving a bus. I've been lucky though. Most of my students have been personable and eager to learn. I've had one that really doesn't like the route, but then came up to me like last week and was like, you were right. I'd rather drive the strip than the residential, because the passengers is just so much crappier on the damn residential routes.
Because they're just grouchy because they've got to go to work.
Right. These are people that ride the bus because
they're
have
either
to.
Going or coming home, and
both reasons are reasons to be in a bitchy mood. Yeah.
Then you've got the school. Well, school is out, I think.
Yeah, I think school just ended.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know, because they extended the school year and then they go back earlier, and I don't know. Because back in my day, we had 3 months off.
Yeah.
June, July, August. But yeah. And yeah, when I'm sick, I sound like man. So I talk like this so I can remotely sound feminine. I sound all breathy.
Oh God.
Oh baby.
Janis Joplin.
Oh, I was gonna say that, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, that's who it was. And of course, I should never sing Janis Joplin, but But yeah.
And what I've bought more pop dolls. The worst thing I can be is sick and in bed and nothing to do. Besides look at the internet. What do? I buy shit. I buy shit I don't need.
I didn't know that the female gremlin had a name.
I didn't know she had a name either. When did she I bought a new pop doll. Well, I bought a new pop doll and
Couple.
I bought a few. I bought more than a pop doll. I've bought a few. I will freely admit when I enjoy retail therapy. I don't need things, but I look at it and be like, hey. I might need it.
I made the mistake of the first pop doll. I was the first one to bring a pop doll home because we had just watched
How to Train Your
Dragon, and we were in Walmart, and they had a Walmart exclusive Toothless.
So he started it.
And I brought it home, and she was like, "Oh, it's so cute!" And
the thing is that I don't like how some people will buy a whole collection. I buy what I like.
Right. And like we've got 2 different Stan Lees. We've got what's the female gremlin's name?
Greta.
And of course the
and then he contributes to my addiction because he bought me a 12-inch Deadpool squirrel.
10-inch.
Oh, okay. 10-inch Deadpool squirrel.
And the child.
And I have one that was a pre-order that is not going to get shipped until next month because ever since Betty White passed away, all the roses from Golden Girls are gone. So they're doing another print.
Yeah.
But they're not being distributed out until August. But I already bought it.
You already bought it, so you pre-ordered, so you're guaranteed yours. And then, of course, we've got our People magazine cover for Betty White.
Yeah.
And, we love Betty White. Betty White was awesome.
Yep.
In fact, there's I think every year on the anniversary of her passing, I'm going to have to do, and I got to remember when that was. I'll mark it on the calendar.
I think it's January. Her birthday is January 8th.
I was saying that the anniversary of her passing because there was the Betty White challenge.
It would be the day before, or
right?
A couple
it was
days
the day before her birthday, yeah. Because the Betty White challenge was she was a huge advocate for
the animals,
and so last year when she passed, we donated to a friend of ours who runs a trap and release program in Hawaii. So
and rescue and adoption center and boarding.
Yeah, and boarding. So, and that's actually how he funds the whole thing for the most part is through donations and through the boarding. So like when people go on vacation, he has like these like luxury suites where the cats get to sleep with laser toys and TVs and like they're themed out and shit. It's really cool. He actually made the news.
Well, back home it did.
Yeah, back home it did. But so every year we'll make it like a donation to him because that way we can help support a friend and do something in honor of Betty White because she deserved it. She was awesome.
But yeah, so retail therapy. I mean, I've been buying sundresses and shit, and I don't go nowhere.
Like, we had to pass on going to sushi this week. Well, hopefully the next payday we can do the sushi thing. We were really worried because with the whole COVID thing and her not having her taste buds working right.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go and not be able to taste anything. I'd be so upset.
Not liking the taste of sushi would be like traumatic for her.
Yeah. Pretty much.
But we got you your orange creamsicles and they taste good.
Yeah. But it comes and goes. I notice like the mornings it's like I gotta wake them up.
You know, wake your taste buds up and smack your tongue a little bit. Yo, it's like, yo, wake up.
No smacking of my tongue. There will be no smacking of my tongue.
Oh, but why?
Because it's not that long.
So, how's that shit, though? Like, this past month, here's another one that happened this month.
Well, while we've been gone.
We had a passenger pass away on our bus. Like, on the bus.
Just croak.
He got on the bus and they checked the video. So apparently on the video, he passed away like 4 minutes after the bus took off. And they rode the entire trip people sitting
with some dead dude next to him.
People sitting next to him. And they never knew because he got on the bus, he twitched a little bit, then he slumped forward, and that was it.
Yikes.
Apparently, he was diabetic. Between the diabetes, heat, and alcohol consumption, it just killed him. And they got, because a single trip takes like an hour. So he was on the bus for over an hour.
Ew.
Dead.
Ew.
And nobody said anything to us.
Oh, no. How are you going to know?
Well, I don't know. Maybe the fact that he slumped over and drooling out of his mouth.
Well, they thought that he was asleep. No?
The smell that would come out, because you know that once you pass away, like, the muscles relax and...
Yeah, but sometimes... Oh. Excuse me. Sometimes that doesn't happen until, like...
Yeah.
2 to 3 hours later, because remember?
But that was just like... I can't imagine being that driver.
Yeesh.
And then last week we had another... And I'm doing air quotes, shooting incident. That wasn't really a shooting incident on the strip. Somebody threw a rock at one of the windows, the doors at the MGM Grand. And you've seen those doors. That glass is thick. If that breaks, that's a loud sound. It could sound like a gunfire. And so... there was a panic. Everybody ran for the fucking streets, jumped onto our buses. One of our bus drivers straight up, when the passenger got on the bus, she straight up flipped a U-turn in traffic, pulled up behind a cop, stopped the bus, abandoned the bus, and ran up to the cop to tell him what was going on. So, yeah, that was another one that happened. This past week this past month has been like...
Doo-doo.
Yeah. There's been a lot of stuff. There's been 2 shootings on Fremont to the point where now they have metal detectors and you got to be over 21 to get on the street.
Really?
After a certain hour, you got to go through a metal detector.
Well, what if the kids are with the parents?
No kids. 21 or over.
Wow.
Unless you're coming from the hotel, like you can get in from the hotels, but off the street, you gotta go through metal detector and show ID. Which I don't blame them.
Yeah.
And somebody was, well, that's on the weekends. And somebody was like, oh, what? So, you don't have to worry about getting shot on the weekdays? I was like, well, on the weekends is when we're busy, so that's when the highest risk is, so that's when you take the most precaution.
Yeah.
So...
there's always going to be somebody that's going to say something stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. But...
yeah, so all I've been pretty much doing is watching my friend play Apex on Twitch.
Oh, God. And then me, I just picked up, and it's the cutest game in the world. Stray.
Yeah, that game is cute.
Stray, for those that don't know, it's on PlayStation and PC. You play a stray cat. That's it. You play a stray cat. You do cat things.
I mean, there's more to it. There's a story to it, but...
right. It basically, you fall down into this undercity area and you're a stray cat trying to work your way back outside. But... you do cat things, like walking up to a paint can that's on the edge of a ledge and you knock it off the ledge.
Which I lovingly like to call fuck your shit.
Yes. And rubbing up against, well, in this case it's robots, but people's legs. Scritching on carpets and walls and couches. But yeah, you do all these things in the game, and it's a lot of fun for that. It's just a really relaxing game. So if you want something to relax, it's $30. From what I've seen, it's like 5 or 6 hours worth of gameplay. Good game. A lot of fun. to the point where even the non-gamer over here will sit there and watch me play because, well, it's a cat and I can meow.
Yeah, but I helped you.
You did, because you got good eyes. As long as they're across the room.
Yeah. Don't put it right in front of me. I can't see shit.
And
don't tell me to read something unless it's across the room.
That's going to make it rough because we also started doing the, well, I got the stuff for miniatures and I painted a few. Miniatures, if anybody doesn't know, in like D&D and stuff like that, they have miniature versions of characters and monsters and stuff in the game. And you can paint them. So I do. Well, Brandy happens to be an amazing makeup artist. And I figure that's going to be skills that translate well. But right when we got this, she got COVID.
Yeah.
Which means, you know, when you're not feeling good, you're not going to try out a new skill. Thankfully, she's starting to feel better, which means she might be able to paint next week. I want to see what happens.
Because I don't want to cough and fling that tiny little thing halfway across the room. That would be bad. Yep.
Be in the middle of trying to paint like a buckle on a belt, which these figurines are between 3/4 of an inch to like an inch and a half tall.
Yeah, so we got like
they're tiny.
The magnifying glass with the light on it and whatnot.
And so if you can imagine, like in the middle of trying to paint an itty bitty buckle that's like 4/16 of an inch across with a tiny brush, and then you cough.
It's gone.
Not just gone, you'd have like this streak of paint going all the way across. I mean, granted, you can fix it, but it's still...
So that's why we usually record at night. And I tend to get from being, well, what I consider active out in the living room and whatnot. By nighttime, I'm exhausted.
Yeah. So
because just the walking from the living room to my room, by the time I get on my bed, I'm like,
yeah,
just completely winded.
So that's why we're recording a little bit earlier than normal. Time of day wise. Because obviously, Brandy, they can't tell that the sun's out.
That's what I was saying.
But oh god, what else have we done?
Because now is usually the time that it is right now that we're recording is usually around the time I start wilting and saying I need to go lie down.
Yeah.
So
we watched the Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, we've been like watching all kinds of stuff. Umbrella Academy,
Miss Marvel, which was good, by the way. Don't let anybody else tell you different.
Then we watched the movies, the Doctor Strange and
then the Spider-Man.
And
you still need to watch the Spider-Verse. I know it's animated, but the animated Spider-Man one.
But you weren't able to find it.
It's on Amazon. It's just I'm gonna have to buy it, and I haven't bought it yet. It's not an expensive one. It's less than the other ones because it's not as new. It's like 2 or 3 years old now. But that one actually fills a lot of gaps for the different Spider-Man because that's a fun story. But yeah, and that's really this has been a hell of a week or hell of a month. Hell of a month. Not even a week. It's just been a month of
caca.
So, but I'm not going to make her record the whole hour-long thing because we're sitting on half an hour and I can already hear her voice going.
Yeah.
So, we wanted to at least get back out there now that we're past the worst of everything and let you guys know that we are still here. We're not going to stop bringing you episodes. We just needed a little, personal...
We needed a break.
Yeah. First time in, like, you realize we've been doing this almost 3 years now.
Yikes.
3 years of never missing episodes until, like, this past month. It's just been...
Needed a break.
Yeah. So...
And yeah, I'm starting to wither.
Yeah, we can hear it. So let me go ahead and hit the little outro thing because, you know, everybody loves our humping turtle song.
I'm melting.
Oh God, you guys know the deal. You know the drill. If you like what you hear, please check us out on Facebook.com/The Squirrel Tangent. If you really like it, maybe consider giving us a couple bucks a month on Patreon.com/The Squirrel Tangent.
Or if you really like this voice, dial 1-900 Sexy Turtle.
Oh, that's the episode. That's the name of this episode right there.
1-900 Sexy Turtle.
Oh God, aloha.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, Karen.
Bye, Karen.